Welcome back, everybody. I am alongside Dustin Sanchez with JP Rifles, and we're hanging out and having a good time on day 2 of competition. How's it been for you so far?
It's been great. I love being here. You know, we hung out in Iowa with some people and then come out here, bring a trailer, a tent, all the guns, and get to talk to everybody about their stages and what they're running and how long they've been competing in tactical games. It's fantastic. I just love it.
And one of my favorite things, we should have brought them over here, but there is a gun for everyone. I'm a true believer of that. And over there, we don't have a Lauren Khalil Edition 1 gun, but we have 2 because there's a little bit of sparkle and pizzazz.
There is, yeah. It definitely matched the sparkles you had on your face yesterday.
Yeah. Well, today I have my green on to go with their, I call it the Wicked Emerald Green Edition, you know, because Wicked 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional or not.
No, absolutely not intentional, but we're going to run with it for sure.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. As we continue to sit here and chat, we're going to take to the camera because we talk about all of the athletes competing this weekend, and we have 171 athletes that qualified for nationals. They competed in 6 stages yesterday. But then today, to close out the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we have 66 additional athletes that decided to be here in the intermediate division, which is
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool because I didn't know they were doing this. So to see them get out here and start getting dirty with everybody else, I enjoy it. That's my division I need to be in anyways, too. So it makes me even happier to see them out here.
Dustin, you haven't competed yet. What are you doing?
No, but that's going to be the division I jump into.
I mean, we can see if there's an open lane this weekend if you want to get out there.
I'll jump out there and get dirty with everybody. I'm fine with that.
But it's cool because it's a great opportunity. You do see some athletes that have, competed before, but you also get a handful of brand new athletes. And I think being out here with the best of the best, there's so many great learning opportunities. And I'm curious for you, Dustin, especially having your booth over there, making sure everybody is set up and ready for the weekend. What are some of those conversations you've been able to have with athletes as they come through? Yeah,
I think a lot of times some people think that they need to do certain things to their firearms for them to be able to come out here and compete with, some of the elites. And at the end of the day, it's not. It's really just getting behind your rifle, getting to understand what your rifle and your pistol can do, what skills you're capable of handling with that firearm, and then just work it and just drill, and train with that rifle so you get to understand what that rifle can do. And then I'll be honest with you, I love JP. I've been with them for over 10 years, but whatever rifle these competitors have, they're never going to actually outrun their rifle or outrun their pistol. Right, so a lot of it comes down to skill. Now, definitely, we can do some upgrades to your rifles to make it a little bit more user friendly. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people, it's just get behind that rifle, train. Go find some of the competitors that are offering training and spend time with them and learn from them.
Well, and I think it's interesting. You say, you've been with JP for a decade. Tactical Games hasn't been around for a decade. So over the past, 5 years or so when Tactical Games started, how has the company evolved to almost make guns or upgrade guns that fit this sport? Because this sport is like no other in the shooting space. Yeah,
when JP was all based around 3-gun type competition. So we have the huge brakes on our rifle. Some of the other things we're doing, it really was to make shooting easier for us, right? So when the tactical came around, we had to turn around and start looking at some of our LEO applications that we have and some of the rifles we have out there with departments, and what can we do to change that, our current competition rifle and get it set up so it fits within the configuration of the Tactical Games. And even then, we jumped in 2019, and some of the things they were doing in 2019, we weren't allowed, that you're allowed to do now, you weren't allowed to do in 2019. So even from 2019 to now, it's evolved. The sport's evolved, and we're changing things. In 2019, when I was looking at getting into Tactical Games, you couldn't run a staccato per se because it was considered a gamer gun.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. So there were a lot of things about that, like 2011s were not allowed. So, you were looking at running a Glock or a Springfield or something like that. So that's what the biggest change that I've seen. Besides, I was in South Carolina in 2019 there with some of the JP shooters that decided to go shoot. and there was a 150-pound bag there that a lot of guys in the elite and intermediate timed out with. They couldn't move it because at that time that was one of the heaviest bags that had ever shown up.
And now we just saw 250-pound sandbags in the elite.
It's absolutely crazy, and they're just throwing them around like they're nothing, right?
Yeah.
So, I love the sport. I've loved how it's evolved. I've loved what everybody that's participated within the sport, what they've put into it to get it to where it's at now. It's been fantastic to watch.
What has been your favorite stage or memory or just something that you look back and you're like, wow, that was really cool?
I don't know if I have anything. Most of the time when I'm here, I'm stuck at my tent, working. So I don't really get to see a lot of the stages like I would really like to. So I don't really have an answer for that one, unfortunately. I think I get to see a lot of the videos that the Tactical Games puts out there.
Yeah, the highlight reels
but
and
they're
everything.
Like highlights.
Yeah,
so it's a bunch of different ones. So I couldn't tell you. It's like, was that the same? Bay as was Bay 7 and Bay 2 mixed together. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a good answer on that one.
Well, no worries because we have this next men's intermediate division. So, Dustin, this is going to be the division you compete in.
Yes.
This could be you right now, and I promise if you want us to make it happen, I think we could.
Yeah, I'm game. Like I said, I'll go get dirty with everybody. I'll go have a good time.
Yeah, so this one, how are you on rope climbs?
Let's not do rope climbs.
You're like, no, we don't want that stage.
Sean's over here giving a thumbs up. I am not a rope climb guy. He has watched me struggle. Let's do something else, not rope climbs.
Well, guess what? The good thing is, if you can't or don't want to do a rope climb, that shouldn't be the limiter for why you shouldn't compete. Because for every rope climb that Dustin decides not to do, you just have to do 3 hand release burpees over the bar instead. So there's a sub.
Yeah.
There's another option.
Yeah, so I can handle that. I can handle that.
Okay.
That may be a struggle too. I haven't been eating the healthiest this trip, but yeah, I'm game. We can jump in there.
What's your go-to snack?
I brought like 40 Rice Krispie treats.
I think I did see you with one the other day.
Yeah.
Just the plain.
Yeah, just plain Rice Krispie treats. Yeah, that's great.
Have you ever had, what were they? Butterscotch Rice Krispie treats.
I have. Those are fantastic.
Those are next level.
They are.
If anybody hasn't had them yet, very easy recipe, like 4 ingredients.
All right, so walk me through this stage that they got going on.
Yeah, so this one, they are going to do a mix of kind of like an obstacle course here. They're going to be going over and under, and then in between, this one has the sled push. No? Yes, the wheelbarrow. That's what it is. Okay. So they have weight on the wheelbarrow. They're going to bring it down to the rig. They're going to do a rope climb or hand release burpees. They're going to have to grab their magazines, so remember to do that. Yep. They're not going to have the magazines on their body. Here, we can see somebody is already beginning that sled push. Okay, so our athlete on the screen, he decides not to do the rope climb, but that doesn't prevent him from competing. He'll just do 3 of these instead. So
you're doing a total of 6? Or was that
a total of 3?
Just 3 burpees. That's it. Okay.
Per
you just
round.
Gotta go over you just gotta go over the bar.
So he'll grab those magazines, or the magazine rather, for this round. He'll move forward, and then he'll begin his first firing sequence. So they'll have 8 shots with their rifle and 8 with their pistol. They're shooting, though, with the rifle about 130 yards.
Okay. Yeah.
So just as an intermediate athlete, I think of the first time that I competed this past year, and I don't get a ton of rifle training living in New York.
Yes, yeah.
So I think one of our stages, the targets were over 300 yards. And that's a real big shock to the system when you've never practiced that. So you, as the expert, give me some advice. What can I be doing with the hand I'm dealt of the location that I live to get better? Is it really like I just need to go travel and practice when I'm not at home?
There's a lot of things. I see a lot of people that they struggle with their firearm just because they're not they're not familiar with it. They don't get to understand it, and the only way to do that is to get in your house and do dry fire. So one thing I like to do is I like to get in there. I'm going to do a lot of dry fire, but you can pull out a chair that you have at your house, and then you can start working on positional stuff. So getting in and out of position, so that when you get somewhere, you understand you're not in a nice steady position when you're taking your shots. But also it's you're familiar. When I get into this position, I know my rifle needs to be in position A, my elbow needs to be tucked here, or I need to be in this position and control my breathing. So that's just dry fire, right? So you can do that anytime you want. It's free. Sometimes it may be boring because dry fire can get boring because you're doing the same drill over and over. But then after that, now we need to take what we've been doing in dry fire, and we need to take that to a range and confirm that when I'm breaking the trigger, it really is on target. And the only way to do that is get to a range. So for you may need to be traveling and go hang out with somebody.
I might need to come hang out with you, learn from the best.
You can come hang out in Minnesota anytime you want. We'll go to the range.
Maybe not the winter.
Well, you already live in New York, so our winters are going to be about the same. So.
I don't want to go to another cold place. Come on, Dustin.
Well, see, we should just be over here, right over, at one of the bays behind us here and get some rounds put in.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. We'll plan better next time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I tell everybody. Even if you're wanting to get into, like, let's say the sniper challenge, it's the same thing. It's just getting behind that rifle, building confidence that you understand, running the bolt where the safety is, getting used to putting mags in, mags out, things like that. And once you build that confidence, you can get into a position like these guys are right now with a lot more confidence, and now you're just going to be focusing on the actual shot itself.
Yeah, it's the same as anything that you're new and green to. The more practice, the more repetitions, the better you can be.
Exactly.
And as they push the wheelbarrow, they have two 45-pound sandbags for this men's intermediate division. But don't forget that the wheelbarrow alone is, I think Nick Palacio said it was around 80 pounds. So that's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight to be moving around.
And this is just the first day for our intermediate division, but they will continue to compete with our national athletes tomorrow out here at Reverly Peak Ranch. And it's cool. See, you can decide to alternate between. So if one round you decide, okay, I'm feeling good, my grip feels strong, I'm going to do a rope climb, or when you get deeper into the workout or the stage rather, now I'm going to sub it in for the hand release burpees. It gives you that option, and a lot of athletes will game it, especially when you have consecutive rope climbs one after another. We've seen some stages where they'll have up to 5 or 6 per round, that if you know that you're going to be taking 30 seconds to a minute break in between, it might just be faster to do the hand release burpees.
I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to do the hand release burpees the entire time. You're not going to catch me on that rope. That's my biggest fear of actually competing at tactical games. They're going to have the rope there. So I definitely need a lot of work on the rope.
So is it a fear that you don't have the skill yet? A fear of heights, of falling? What is the limiter?
I'm going to go with both. A and B for that one, for sure. Sean of Action Gunner's been with me. He's watched me struggle on the rope. That's just not my thing.
Take the shot. This is Sean. He's also the man, the myth, the legend that makes this all possible. We've heard you. You want to see the tactical games live, and this is the guy that y'all can thank. He's got our setup, and he also serves as our wind protector here.
And he's been doing this since 2019. He shot his first tactical games in 2019.
Was he what got you involved and interested, or what was that journey like?
No, I actually got him involved. So typically we know our friendship goes with I come up with some stupid idea, and I'm like, hey, Sean, we're going to go do this.
That sounds like a good friendship.
Yeah. The fact that he actually just plays along and goes along with it is surprising, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of stuff if he came to me with that I go to him with, I've been like, it's not happening, big guy. But no, he's done good. So I think it's cool to see, like, Sean's watched the progression since 2019, competed 2 or 3 times in 2019, and so now to see him behind the scenes is really cool.
And see all this thing happen. I mean, just going back to late 2018, 2019, when the tactical games began, the evolution of how competitive these fields have gotten to is something that every year you see new competitors jump in and you're like, where did they come from? Or you see people, the OGs, the Nate Drum, the Jared Halberts of this sport that have been here since the beginning, and they're still out there competing. It is really cool.
You know, if we want to talk about progression, I was at Hepner's very first match in Utah.
Why don't you tell us what that experience was like for you? What did you notice about Jacob Hepner and the skills he brought and maybe the ones he didn't have yet?
Clearly, we all knew the skills was going to be the CrossFit part of it, right?
Absolutely. The fitness, very fit.
But that shooting, man, it's came a long way. That's been definitely a progression that's been exciting to watch.
What was it then about Jacob that you thought, okay, he might not be the best shooter yet, but I think he might actually be able to learn the skills and be really good at this sport? So
the one thing I've noticed, there's a couple shooters here that have, or athletes I should say, that have it is within, like when I look at, we hang out with a lot of three gunners and guys within USPSA. There's the guys that are at the top, they have an incredible work ethic. And you can see it, with Jacob, you could see it almost right away. Like he may come in here and get beat early on, but he was going to dedicate all of his time to his weakest skill, and he was going to change that. And now I don't know if I would say his shooting is his weakest skill. I mean, I think he's working on some stuff, but phenomenal. I mean, he's definitely turned that around since I met him in Utah. So, yeah.
So if an athlete or somebody at home is watching, maybe they're incredibly green at shooting, obviously practice, repetition, but is there one specific drill that you would encourage them to do that will have the biggest carryover?
I think it's going to be dot drill, because shooting a dot drill, whether you're with your rifle or your pistol, it's going to push the fundamentals. And as long as you're working on fundamentals, you can take that and go shoot in any discipline that you want, because you have strong fundamentals, whether it's pistol, rifle, shotgun, doesn't matter. Just build those up. But pistol, rifle, something like this, dot drills are definitely going to come out. You're going to be honest with what's happening, whether you're pushing, you're kind of healing the trigger or healing the pistol. You're going to throw your shots, and you can't hide from those. It's definitely there. It's not a speed thing. It's just poor fundamentals. You're going to see it on dot drill all day long.
In this sport, you can't hide from anything.
No.
Your weaknesses will show, and they will show shining in your face.
Sure. Yeah. So, no, it's been cool to watch. And then, Kurt, Kurt and I have become pretty good friends, and I like to just call and pick his brain. And it's the same thing. It's just that work ethic and getting out there and pushing the rifle, pushing the pistol, trying to understand what each one of those platforms doing, where they're weak, where the weakness is at. Is it in ammo, or are we looking at what, it doesn't matter what it is, right? They're going to figure out what that is, and they're going to improve upon that, make the changes and get after it.
Yeah, and I'm impressed to see how many of our intermediate athletes are choosing to do those rope climbs, especially this deep into the stage. They're getting close to the end here.
I was just about to say the same thing as I saw all three of them line up, getting ready to go.
Yeah, I was like, oh, are all of them about to jump up?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm watching these guys on the rope, and I'm wondering if there's another division that's below this that doesn't have rope climbs.
All of them have rope climbs, but again, you can sub them in, because also just thinking that, rope climbs are hard when you just have your body weight. Yeah. It's such a different level of hard. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes in, just 10 minutes in. But then adding your belt and your plate carrier, and you have your pistol holstered on the side of your hip, and figuring out how to maneuver that is certainly another set of skills that you got to pick up with the rope climbs.
So I'm curious, for some of the intermediates, to come out here yesterday and watch, how many of them came out here and watched the elites just get after it, and what did that do to their psyche, right? Did it get them pumped? Like they went in and they might toss and turn all night because they were so excited and the adrenaline's going and they couldn't sleep, and then they come in a little exhausted today? Or did some of them just came here, saw it, confidence rose, they went in, had a really nice sleep, came in ready to go? That's the question I want to talk to some of these guys about. I want to know where they were at after watching everybody yesterday.
What would it have done to you? Would you have been intimidated, or would it get you fired up?
I would have got fired up.
Me too.
I was already talking. We're going to be at a lot of matches next year. JP is. I'll be at most of them, and I plan on shooting every one that I'm at. No matter what's going on, my goal is to shoot.
To have a bay dedicated to shooting, or
No,
you
no.
want to do one of the stages?
I am going to compete.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So I'd love to have a demo bay. So if the Knicks hear me right now, let's talk about that later. I'd love to have demo bay, but me personally, I want to get out here and compete with the guys and the girls and get to know everybody a lot better. And I think it's just like any other sport. You get out there and you suffer with everybody else. You know, that relationship and that bonding is a lot stronger.
It's a whole level, a whole different level of suffering out here, because you can do other sports, and most of them are in mostly a controlled environment.
Yeah.
We do not have a controlled environment here because luckily we've had good weather this weekend, but we very much have had some stages, events this year rather, that we've had to deal with snow, we've had to deal with rain. Last year we had boiling heat, 90 degrees sometimes when we were in the south, and it is just a whole other level of pain and suffering when you're in the dirt.
And there's no way to train for that. There's just no way to train for that. You just get out here and whatever's going on, you just got to get in there. In this range, I've shot some 3-gun matches here. This range is hard, especially on some of those, long range. Typically, we're going to say is past 500. But at this range, you can be shooting at targets at 150 yards. And the way this wind moves in and out, you could be getting impact. Nice breeze comes through, and you're not even on paper. So I always look at the wind here as a huge element to any match that's going to be here, because you can't control that. And so that's another element that is, I would say it's worse, because you just don't know what's going on until after you get done shooting.
Go to the windy city of Chicago and practice.
Yes.
I wonder if it's actually windier. I don't know why it's called the Windy City. Hopefully it has to do with the weather, but I'm not actually sure.
I have no idea. I just, living in Minnesota now, they don't like Chicago and they don't like Green Bay, so I just don't even pay attention to them.
Yeah, you're a Vikings fan.
No, I'm not a Vikings fan.
What fan are you?
I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, even though I grew up in Texas, I just never could cheer for the Cowboys. I just didn't like them. So
good.
And I'm not going to cheer for the Vikings. I don't like them either.
Okay,
so,
those are the two worst teams to cheer for.
And then Green Bay is right in there, too.
Okay. I grew up, I'm originally from New York, and I lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin for 4 years.
Didn't you wear a purple dress on a...
I showed up to work when the Packers were playing the Vikings, and I showed up to work at the TV station in a purple dress, not thinking anything of it, since when do I base my outfits on sports? Unless I'm going in person to the game. And my news director sent me home and told me I needed to change because I would get death threats. So fun fact, people. So, I was a Packers fan because, you live in Green Bay. It's hard to not be a fan when you live in an NFL town.
Same thing with Minneapolis. You just hear so much about them. So.
Oh, they're closing in. This is the last 10 seconds. This is where you really have to dig deep and decide, how bad do you want it?
Yeah. Yeah, look at those guys go. He keeps going. He's getting his jumps in.
Yep. And the time was done, but he was like, okay, I guess I'm going to keep going because we're almost done with the last one. But our men's intermediate division, again, we have 66 athletes in intermediate. So today and tomorrow, we will have around 237 athletes competing across several bays. I mean, they're getting after 14 stages. That is a lot of shooting and fitness.
Yeah, especially, for some of them that are doing it in 2 days, that's a lot. But then you add in that third day for the elites. That recovery, what are you going to feel like tomorrow and Sunday?
Oh, man. And especially when you're that fatigued, sometimes you don't even want to eat. You have palate fatigue, and trying to get the calories in can be just another chore added onto the weekend.
Yeah. So, I've traveled to a lot of major matches from, I shot PCC Worlds this year in the Czech Republic and
awesome.
3-guns and stuff like that. I have to say, every time I came to a tactical games event, they are continuously separating themselves from all the other shooting disciplines with how they run an event. And not only that, the spectators that come and cheer people on and how, they are always there. Like, it could be the guy that you're competing against for first place. and they're still sitting there cheering them on. You know, they expect the best out of them. So it's I guess what I'm trying to get at is if you're shooting this and this is all you've ever shot, you are very, very lucky that you have a great organization like this. It's fantastic.
When you talk about a company that truly leans on their core group of people, I mean, they have 6 or 7 people who pretty much do it all. They're driving to every single regional event. They're hauling the trailers. They're setting up the equipment, setting up sandbags. And, of course, we lean on some of our volunteers and ROs. But the community and having such a great team at HQ is really what makes this possible. And we love our community. Coming out here and being around a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
All different backgrounds, all different places. You can't even just say the U.S. anymore. All over the world is a really special thing to have, especially making these friendships as an adult.
Yeah, right?
Being in sports as an adult, right? Like, gone are the days where, you know, your prime, and maybe your prime athletic ability is still your college days, but this is a different level where you can still get better year after year.
Yeah, it really is fun. I mean, we were just watching some of the intermediate guys here. When they got done, they laid down, but they had a huge smile on their face after suffering. You don't get that in any other shooting discipline out there at all. You know, these
Dustin,
guys shoot and they disappear.
Next year, that will be you. And I will be sure to get the camera right up in your face as you're done, and I'll make sure there's a big smile, and you'll get the full athlete experience.
Yeah, well, I'll be sure to tag you in a post the first time I actually complete a rope.
Okay.
While I'm trying to train for that,
Good to know.
I'll tag you in a post of the huge smile I'm going to have then, because it has not happened yet.
Amazing. We can't wait for it. Dustin, thank you so much. We'll let you get back to your booth, but always a pleasure to catch up and talk about cool things that are happening.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and you're doing a phenomenal job, so thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Folks, stay with us. We will be right back to continue our broadcast on day 2 of the 2025 Tactical Games Nationals.